Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, you are highly welcome. I welcome you to Bliss Caution, and my name is Blessing. So guys, in today's class we'll be learning how to make this beautiful gown. This is the inspiration I used to recreate mine. So guys, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and also turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss any video from the channel. So whatever video I post in the channel, you will be notified. So guys, without wasting of time, let's get started. Welcome back guys. These are the materials I will be using for this tutorial. This is a crepe fabric and the white one is about 2.5 yard and the other color is about 1 yard. Okay, so guys, this is the pattern. First of all, draft with pattern before I will transfer to my main fabric. So guys, this is me marking my starting line, and this line here will start after my shoulder line. So now from the shoulder line, I will just go ahead to mark my chest line, bust point line, under bust, waist, and my hip and my full length. So guys, this means at this moment I find out that my marker is not working, so I transfer to my pencil. Okay, so this is me ruling all my lines like this. Okay, so this is the hem part. Okay, I added 2 inches for my hemming allowance, so my length is 40 and I added 2 inches to make it 42. So guys, this is me identifying my line. This is my chest line, my bust line, under bust line. I forgot to mark my waist, but I will mark it later. So I will just go to my, from the under bust, I will go to my hip line. Here is my hip line. Okay, so you can see that I will just go ahead to mark my waist measurement. From my shoulder to my waist is 16. So I forgot to mark it earlier, so I'm marking it now. So from my shoulder to my waist is 16. So go ahead to mark your waist measurement if you want to recreate this style. Okay, just go ahead. This is me marking, ruling out my line. So guys, after ruling, I will just identify this part here as my waistline. Okay, my hip point line. Okay, and of course the full length of this gown. So guys, the first step I will be taking here is my zipper allowance. You remember the zip is at the front. Okay, for this gown the zip is at the front, so I will mark 1.5 inches from the shoulder to the hem part. So I will just go ahead to roll it up, connect all the lines together like this. So guys, after that I will identify that part as my zip allowance. So now from my measurement, I will take all my measurement from this very line here. Okay, so I will start with my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I will place it on the shoulder line there and mark. Then I will come over to the chest line here and I will also repeat what I did at the shoulder line there and I will mark it. So guys, I will just rule my line in a straight way like this. Okay, so guys, after ruling my line like this, then the next step is to take my neck width. The neck width I will be working with is 3 inches. Okay, so for the depth of the front I will be going in by 2.5. You can also go by 3, but if you notice this gown very well, you will see that the neck depth is not that low, is a little bit high. So I will just go in by 2.5 inches. So guys, you can also use 3 inches like I said. So from then I will just connect my neckline with a curve rule like this and I will just connect it like so. So you can see that I've created my neckline. So I will extend this part to the zipper allowance like this. Good. So now the next step is to take my shoulder slope by coming down from this line, this straight line like this. So I will connect from the 1 inches down to the shoulder width, okay, just like this, okay. So that's it, guys. So the next step is to divide my bust measurement divide by 4 so that we'll be able to create our armhole. So I will start my line from the zipper allowance line there and mark. So guys, I've already marked it. So the next step is to divide what I have. I will first of all measure it and I will divide it into 2 like this. Then after dividing, I will just make a very notch there so to identify the midpoint. So from the midpoint, I will come in by 0.5. Some people come in by 0.75, but I normally come in by 0.5, okay. But go with the one works for you. You can come in by 0.575, okay. So this is it. I'll just connect with a curve rule like this to create a armhole. Then after connecting like so, I'll connect from this midpoint to the shoulder like this, or let me say to the shoulder slope like this. You can see that our armhole is well curved. So guys, the next step now is to take in my nipple to nipple measurement, okay. I'll take in my nipple to nipple measurement. So for my nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches. By the time I divide by 2, I will have 3.5 inches. So I will just mark the nipple to nipple measurement from the starting from the bust line down to the hip line, okay. From the bust line down to the hip line. Then I will use a straight ruler to just connect all this line that I dot, okay. I'll just connect it like this. So guys, this is how it comes out after connecting. So now we create our darts. So for the darts, for the waistline, I will come in by 1 inches on both sides, okay. 1 inches on both sides. Then I'm supposed to come up by 1 inches from the hip line, but since it will have a basque waist, so is I will just leave it like that. So I will connect from the 1 inches down to the hip line, okay. Then I will also do the same thing to the other side like this, okay. Just the way you see me just connect to me the bust point like this, okay. So now we have created our dart. So for this part here, I will divide what I have here and find the midpoint to connect it to meet the bust point like this, okay. You can see. So now the reason why I'm doing this, I will explain it more better for us as we proceed. So now I'll just take all my measurements. You can see I've already added my my seam allowance for the bust area because I've already marked my bust measurement divided by 4 before. So guys, I will come over to this under bust and I will mark my under bust measurement. Then I will replace the dart intake that is there. I will replace it there and add my 2 inches for seam allowance. You can as well add 1.5 inches, okay. So the same thing goes to the waist, okay. I will also divide my waist measurement divide by 4. Then I will add the dart and I will replace the dart and add my 2 inches for seam allowance. You can as well do 1.5 inches, okay, for your seam allowance if you don't want much seam allowance. So this hip, I will divide my hip measurement like so. Then for the hem part now, I will just copy what I have on the hip line, okay. I'll just copy everything here and take it down like this, okay. I'll just mark it, okay. That is it. So I will just go ahead to connect everything. I'll connect it. So guys, you can see I've connected my line. So from this center front for the bust line here, I will come up by 1.5 inches, okay. While for the side, I will come up by the side from the under bust from the side, I will come up by 1 inches. Then I will use my curve ruler now to connect it like this. I will just use a curve ruler to connect it like a curve, okay. Remember that from this from this bust point line, I come up by 1.5 inches, okay? While from the under bust on the side, I come up by 1 inches. Then I use my curve ruler to connect. To create the basque waist, then I'll come from the hip line, I'll come down by 4 inches from the hip line. You can as well come down by 3 inches if you don't want it to be that deep. So now from the waist, I come down by 2 inches on the side, okay? Then I will use a straight ruler now to create a kind of a V shape, okay, to create the basque waist, okay? I'll just create a V shape like this, okay? As you can see, I created a V shape. This other part, I made a mistake there, so it's not that straight, so I will connect it again, okay? So I connect it from the side to the center front, so I connect it just the way you see me connect. So basically that's it. This is it. So I will just extend this part here to the zipper allowance, okay? So basically we are done. I'll just go ahead to cut out this pattern, okay? So guys, this is how it comes out after cutting. You can see the set. So I will take this other part aside first. Let's work with this upper part. So now guys, remember I connect a line here. So from this line now, I will just slash it through the line, okay? This part that I connect to the shoulder, when I divided my shoulder into two, so I connect the line to the bust point. So I will just slash that line there. I will slash it into two. Then I will bring out a fresh paper like this and splash it, as in I will spread it, and I will make sure that I spread by 2 inches, okay? I will spread. If you want that part to full, you can use 3 inches, but I spread by 2 inches. I ensure that I spread by 2 inches is exactly 2 inches. So then after ensure that is 2 inches, I will pin these two together. I will pin it. I don't have a masking tape at this moment, so I will use my pin to do the work. I will just pin it together like this. But if you have a masking tape, please use a masking tape to hold it down. So this is me trying to cross check if I am on the right track, okay? So I will just go ahead to pin the other side like this, okay? So guys, after pinning it like this, I will just go ahead to trace it. I will pin the upper part so that when I'm tracing, I will not find it difficult to trace, or the other part will not be moving here and there. So I'm trying to cross check my measurements if it's on the right track, okay? So guys, that is it. So I will just go ahead to use my pencil to trace out this first pattern to the second pattern, okay? So guys, after tracing, I will just remove my pin and I will take this first pattern out because it's no longer needed, okay? So this is no longer needed. I will be working with this new pattern, okay? So guys, I will just go ahead to cut out this fresh pattern, okay? So after cutting now, this is how it looks like. So these are the back, these are the remaining part. You can see this other one. When I put it like this, you can see that I have some excess. So I will be using this other excess to plait it when I have cut it to my main fabric. You can see there's about 2 inches difference from the down part. So I will pick it as I will sew it. Okay, that is it. So guys, so I will just take this other one aside and bring the down part. Remember, the down part is a kind of gathered. So how to achieve that gather part or that gather effect? I will go ahead to just rule all lines like this. Then I will just go ahead to label it. Just rule it. I just rule it. No actual measurements on this very one here. So I label my lines so that I will not be confused when I'm doing my splash and spread method. So I will just cut all this line out. You can see me, I will just cut it out. Okay, cut it out like this. Okay, just like so. I'll cut it to the end. Okay. So guys, I've cut into pieces like this. By the with the number that I have marked, I will be able to know how to arrange them later. Okay. Now I will take all this on aside and let's move to the back pattern. So guys, you can see I've already drafted my back, and this is a basic back, a basic back block. Okay, so for the neckline, I use 1 inches for the depth, but for the width is 3 inches. So this is my nipple to nipple measurement line. Okay, and you can see that I've already created my armhole there. So now from the hip line, now I'll come up by 1 inches like this. So after coming up by 1 inches from this dart leg on the waistline, I'll come in by 1 inches on both sides, just the way we did to the front dart. Okay, so the difference is that we come up by 1 inches at the back from the hip line. Then I will just connect my lines like this using a straight ruler to connect the lines like this. Then I'll connect from the waist down to the bust point line like this, just the way you see me doing like this. So I will repeat the same thing to the other side like this. Remember, this back is not on fold. You will not cut it on fold. Okay, the reason I will explain later. Okay, so now I will just connect my line like this. Okay, connect. So we've connected the line. Please ensure that when you are taking in your dart, like you want to hold your dart for your main fabric, ensure that you unfold. When you are like you unfold, you will also sew 1 inches unfold. By the time you open it, it's 2 inches. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say here, because you will replace these 2 inches that you have taken here. So when you replace it, then meaning you have extra 2 inches that you will sew out. Okay, so now this is my hip line. I am imputing my hip measurement divided by 4, added my dart intake and my seam allowance as well. So for the hip, I also mark my hip measurement divided by 4 and add my seam allowance of 2 inches. So now I'll just copy what I have on this hip line and transfer to this down part, which is the hem part. So this back, like I said, is just a plain back. Okay, it does not have any joining or any gather at any side. It's just a normal basic back. Okay, so guys, I will just go ahead to connect my lines. So guys, I have connected my line. So now coming to this center back, from this waistline like this, I will come in by 0.5 inches. The reason why is that is to eliminate any bulginess at the back. Okay, so I will connect this half an inch to correspond with the hip line and also correspond with the bust point line like this. Okay, you can see that this part here is kind of curved at the waist area. So we cut that part off. Okay, so this, like I said, is to remove any bulginess at the back. so that it can stay well. So guys, after that, I'll just go ahead to cut out my pattern. I will just look at me and you will see how I am cutting it, especially the center back. Cut it out, cut that part that we minus half an inch, okay, so that when you are wearing your dress, the back will stay very nicely. So now I will just go ahead to trim out these parts for this center back, okay. I will trim it out like this, okay. Just wash it and you will understand what I'm saying. Okay, just trim it like this. So guys, when you are transferring this pattern to your main fabric, ensure that you add half an inch to the center back so that the half an inch will be the sewing allowance for the two joining. So guys, basically we are done. These are the fabric, these are the pattern we have created. So I will just transfer that to my main fabric, okay. I will use this part for the white and I will use it for bow lining and the main fabric. And for this other center here, from this center here, I will use this other crepe, this other color of crepe to cut it out, okay. So guys, now for this down part, you can see I splash it, like I spread it, sorry, I spread it by 2 inches, okay. I follow the number, okay. Remember I number this line, so I just follow the number and I spread it on fold. So I will just cut it according to the line. Ensure that I add half an inch for my sewing allowance. I will just cut it like that down, okay, to the end, because the inches in between these two, the space is by 2 inches. So for the down part, I will just leave it like that. I will not add any seam allowance because we have already added our hemming allowance already. So I will just cut it straight, okay. So for the up part, I added half an inch for joining, okay. So I will just go ahead to open this other part because this front is two sides, okay, is because we have zipper in between these two. So I will just open it up like this. Then guys, after opening it up, I will remove out my pattern paper. Then you will see that the front is wide now. I will just plant it to the center, okay. When we get there, you understand what I'm trying to see. So guys, I will remove out my pattern from the fabric and that is it for the. So now I will remove out my pattern from this down part and this is the other part. So guys, I've cut out 4 pieces for this one, both for lining and the main fabric, and also to the up, which is the yoke part, both for lining and main fabric. I also cut out for my back and the down part as well. So guys, in my next video I will post where I join all these pieces together. So guys, if you find this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up, and if you are yet to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified on every beautiful video I will be posting in this channel. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I don't take that for granted. I love you all guys. Thanks for watching. Those that come back to watch my video, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Bye. See you in my next video.